Welcome to Business Blueprint, where we guide entrepreneurs through the building blocks of business success, one insight at a time. I'm your host, Jeffrey Beckles, and today we'll be traveling well beyond New Providence to spotlight the thriving entrepreneurial spirit across our family islands. In this episode, we will explore the vital role that the Family Island entrepreneurs play in shaping the economy, and we'll dive deeply into the tangible impact that the SBDC's initiatives are having in these communities. Are the investments making a difference? Really good question for us that we will explore today. So joining us for this insightful conversation are Vaughn, entrepreneur and president of the Acklins Trade and Development Association, Ramona Taylor, SBDC's Family Island Advisor for Long Island, and Ehren Hanna, president of the Exuma Chamber of Commerce. Folks, welcome and good of you to join us.
Thank you.
As we talk about the SBDC and we talk about family islands and businesses, many times it's easy to forget that family islands are actually a part of this larger landscape. And so we want to talk a little bit about the impact and how things are going on your various islands. And so, Ehren, we start with you. There's been a lot of talk about Exuma and things happening there. So what's your assessment of how the business landscape is evolving in Exuma?
So thank you again for having me on the show, Jeffrey. And as far as the SBDC's contribution to the growing small business and medium-sized businesses in Exuma, we can say that they are making an impact, one entrepreneur at a time. We've seen where businesses have benefited from access to funding, access to training. Could there be more? Definitely. And I think as we continue to promote, it's an awareness campaign that has to continue to promote these businesses.
Now, Ramona, you have been involved in Long Island on many levels. You've been an active member of the Chamber of Commerce there. You are now serving as an advisor to the SBDC. Give us a little bit of an insight on your take on how the business environment is evolving, and particularly in the small business side.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey, for having me. As far as the impact that the Small Business Development Center is having on Long Island, I can say, as the resident advisor, that it's been amazing. And over the last 7 years, the growth that I have seen personally with regard to all sectors of the economy, everything from fishing, agriculture, aviation, you name it, SBDC has a footprint here, and I'm very proud of that. And what I would like to see is, one of the things that I had asked SBDC for over the years was more visibility. And what I am so happy about is now we have that. We're in all the family islands. SBDC teams are out there getting information, sharing information, and it's just been amazing. So the impact is, I would say, absolute.
Excellent. Now, Vaughn, when you start to think about Acklins, people go quiet, laid back, easygoing, but Acklins is alive.
It is.
Talk to us a little bit about what's going on.
Okay, so Acklins is one of those southeastern islands that much people don't hear much from. But Cascarilla is alive and kicking, and it's making a global impact. Just a few months ago, we had a Cascarilla festival in which we had invited other entrepreneurs and specialists to the island to showcase our product. I can tell you now that Cascarilla is providing small and medium-sized enterprises with good revenue. I can tell you there were the days when Cascarilla would sell for $2 and $3 per pound. It's up to $17 per pound.
Wow.
So Cascarilla is making an impact, and institutions like SBDC has a part in that, but we're asking for more support to develop that sector in Acklins at this time.
We talked about awareness. We talked about the impact that the SBDC is having in family islands. Is the message getting through to local residents sufficiently, Ehren?
I believe that while the message is getting across, again, there's an opportunity, and it has to be a continuous education campaign, and it's not unique to SBDC. I think as SBDC continues to push its mandate. Partnerships play a critical role in helping getting that message across. And I'm happy to be a partner with the SBDC through the Chamber of Commerce of Exuma. And those sorts of partnerships help to bring light to the opportunities that exist. And so as we continue these conversations, again, it's about bringing these opportunities to the forefront in a format that most people can access, right? Because typically we find that most recently SBDC joined us for a town hall in Exuma, which was well received, well attended. However, there were still several individuals who were not able to take advantage of hearing what these opportunities are, right? And so social media, WhatsApp is big in the communities in Exuma particularly, and that's been a primary way of getting information out there. And so consistency in messaging and awareness is definitely critical to the further enhancement of these programs.
You mentioned something very interesting, right? WhatsApp is very popular, it's highly used. So the SBDC has been adapting to use that mode of communication to more effectively reach the people. Ramona, you mentioned earlier that one thing that you had asked the SBDC for is to improve its visibility and presence. And you were happy to see that. In what ways has the SBDC done that, and how is it having a positive impact on residents, particularly in Long Island, but speak to it in general for Family Islands?
Well, you see, when you, in my position as a resident advisor, I can do a lot. I interact with the people every day. But as I keep talking about it, and because SBDC was kind of like an unknown, it's something new, people didn't really fully understand what it was and what it represented. And while I could do my best to sort of project it out there as much as possible, once I asked, Sam and the team, could you all come down, let the people meet you? And they did. And we had a town hall, and it made a huge difference because people were able to say, oh, this is something real. This is not just Ramona talking. This is, this is real.
The institution is there, yes.
And so that had a big impact. And now I'm happy to see that they're going out to the other islands. And I'm happy that I was able to join the team going into Acklins late last year and to meet the Acklins people and to see what they're doing. And it's it's just, like I said, that's what we needed. That's what SBDC needed, and I think we're on a journey now that's going to have just continue going.
Excellent. Farron, you mentioned this giant leap from $2 or $3 a pound for cascarilla to 17. Acklins is known for that. What are some of the other businesses that have evolved since the SBDC has come to Acklins?
What I would say to you is that bone fishing is one of those unique businesses that persons travel the world to come in and enjoy. So in terms of having the necessary equipment, the necessary technology to facilitate this, SBDC has helped to some degree. But I would also say that more is needed to involve a greater percentage of small and medium-sized enterprises to exploit the opportunities that are available. There are some, I may say, barriers to trade. If I may just mention one, because we're so far south, business license processes, it poses a challenge sometimes. And sometimes it may present some sort of delay in being able to qualify for some of these grants and opportunities. However, persons have received funding and they are doing well in their business ventures.
So you talked a little, and we'll talk about the challenge, some of the challenges in our next segment. So it is fair to say then that Family Islanders in general understand more succinctly today that they're not being overlooked, they're not being forgotten, that these same opportunities, Nassau, Grand Bahama, Abaco, that are being offered to small businesses are very much being offered to and available to Family Islanders throughout the country. And that's incredibly important for us. And so we'll continue our conversation after this commercial break. And when we come back with our special guests, we'll take a look at some of the unique challenges that Family Island small businesses are experiencing in this growing economy of the Bahamas. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
I chose Bank of the Bahamas because it was a Bahamian-owned bank. The bank has certainly supported our evolution through overdraft facilities, purchasing of equipment, facilitating of salary payments, and I really believe that Bank of the Bahamas is able to help in the development of the local economy. I would truly recommend the services at Bank of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to the SBDC's Business Blueprint. We're here today with Ehren Hanna, Ramona Taylor, and Vaughn Moss, and we're discussing how the entrepreneurs in the Family Islands are contributing to the Bahamas' economic revival. Before we took the break, the reality of it is, while we are doing something inclusive through the SBDC, there are some unique challenges that the Family Island entrepreneurs are facing. Challenges that can result in disengagement or disenchantment in some way. Let's talk about some of those challenges that are unique to Exuma, that are unique to Long Island and Acklins, and by extension, some of the other islands. So, Ehren, what are some of the challenges that you may be experiencing in Exuma?
So some of the challenges that we face, and I think, again, it may not necessarily be unique to Exuma. We live in an archipelago, and Exuma in itself is an archipelago. There's 365 keys within Exuma itself, right? When it comes to infrastructure, yes, there are opportunities. There's sometimes inconsistency with electricity, inconsistency with being connected to internet and data. Those obviously pose a great challenge to business continuity. I think, though, where we can help is around data, right? Businesses need to have data to make informed decisions. And I think that is a major opportunity, not only for Exuma, but again, across our family of islands. And, you know, we're looking at almost $1 billion of investments coming in, right? We have 200 million in Integra, Rosewood Resort coming. We have 260 in Amankaya. There's so many developments happening, right? And so awareness of the opportunities that are coming and the spin-off entrepreneurial businesses that can be created is also an opportunity. But I think data for me is one of the things that the Chamber is trying to step into in helping collect data so that we can help our members make informed decisions.
So internet connectivity is critical for us. Ramona.
Well, while Exuma may have their challenges, Long Island has a whole other set. And primarily it's for entrepreneurs or somebody wanting to go into business or somebody even in business. We have the daily challenges of there are no banking facilities on the island, none. So people have to go to extreme lengths to make financial decisions, how they're going to bank their money and that sort of thing. And with regard to, for individuals who want to get funding for a business, because there are no banks, and then SBDC came along and they presented this opportunity where you can come to us and we can help you and we can guide you and train you even, and we can direct you to funding. And so most of the funding that we have seen in the Family Islands that I represent would be through grant funding, which has been a blessing. And so it is really, to me, it is sort of like set, a whole new standard of how you do business. So the entrepreneurs are being creative, but there's a lot of other stuff. Communications, we need to do better with that. We have 2 providers, and both of them have some work to do in the Family Islands and these islands. Too many of us are paying out money to Mr. Musk because we can't do any better, because we need that connection. In our case, we have a lot of outstanding issues in infrastructure. We don't have good airlift. You can hear stories of how people have to get around. Sometimes you have to take a ferry to go to Exuma to get a flight to get to Nassau.
Right.
It's like you're reverting, So there are challenges, but the SBDC has brought hope,
Yes.
and it has brought help, and it has given people in these islands opportunities that they could never have gotten otherwise.
Well, I look forward to our first client who comes with a airline business plan. So that's something for us to look at. And so yes, while these challenges exist, it also provides us opportunities. So there are entrepreneurs out there who are listening. You may have a solution. And so as we wrap up this segment, what are some of the unique challenges in your neck of the woods?
Thank you, Jeff. While Acklins at this time don't enjoy the investment that Exuma may, I can tell you that the small and medium-sized enterprises in Acklins, they are very resilient. They always find a way. And there's a saying that goes out about Acklins people. We will make it happen. We will make a way. But the fact of the matter and the truth of the matter is we need proper infrastructure development in order to exploit the opportunities presented by SBDC. As mentioned by my colleague, airlift is one of those issues that we would have battled with going into Acklins and Crooked Island. As you may know, flights are basically 2 flights per week,
Right.
Wednesday, Saturday, and it is shared in most cases with Crooked Island. So there in itself, that is a barrier to trade.
It's interesting. So we do have opportunities, so we do need to work in infrastructure communications. And so this has been a very good insight as to how the SBDC is leading the way in this economic revival and some of the obstacles that as a country we have to create these opportunities for entrepreneurship. So we'll take us this next break, and when we come back, we will have our mentorship moment with Ariel Pinder, and we'll continue our conversations. Don't go away.
My late husband, Tyrone Albury, had a passion for brewing beer at home. We found one of his recipes and we started on the stovetop with 1 gallon of beer. It was a hobby that turned into a passion project that turned completely out of control. We had to make a decision whether or not we were going to continue home brewing or open a brewery. So craft beer is basically brewing a very small batch of beer. Every individual batch of beer is going to be slightly different.
We're always trying to figure out what the next best beer is going to be.
Just the sheer amount of love and effort that goes into every brew. It's a science, really, to selecting the right grains and the hops, and then expanding on some of the normals.
Really, in the last couple of years, we've had a lot more of the locals that have found our location.
They realize that there is a fuller flavor beer out there, and we take pride in that. When we first started the concept of the brewery and we were looking for funding, it was the SBDC that we leaned on to help me push through at times when I wanted to give up, to tell me when I was making mistakes, and for that, I am grateful. So I would encourage all entrepreneurs, if you're looking for funding, mentorship, and encouragement to launch your new business idea, I would encourage you to contact the SBDC.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Hi, everyone. I'm Ariel Pinder, your host for the Mentorship Minute. Today, let's talk about something every entrepreneur needs, but sometimes overlooks, and that's a strong network. Entrepreneurship can feel isolating, but you don't have to go through it alone. Actively connect with other business owners, mentors, industry experts, and potential partners. The right professional connections can offer advice, share opportunities, and even lead to collaborations or new clients. So, invest in relationships that can help your business grow. But how can you build this network? Attend networking events, join professional associations within your field, and make the most of online platforms like LinkedIn. Another way to get connected is by joining an SBDC program that aligns with your business goals. Check out sbdcbahamas.com or give us a call at 461-7232 to learn more about upcoming events and programs that can help you develop your network.
how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Welcome back, and thank you for that mentorship minute, Ariel. We're now joined by Phyllice Bethel, Deputy Executive Director at the SBDC, and we've been talking about the impact of the SBDC on Family Island entrepreneurs and the extraordinary support that we've gotten from Family Islands. As we celebrate the incredible work that the SBDC is doing, what has been your personal take on how the response has been from Family Island entrepreneurs?
So in terms of impact and response of the $93 million in funding that we've helped businesses across the Bahamas access, Family Islands account for 37% of that, so roughly $34 million.
That's a significant number.
It is, but even more significant when you look at the quantity of funding applications approved for Family Island businesses, that goes up to 47%.
Wow.
It's just that the funding request amount is lower typically. In terms of impact, we're strengthening our Family Island team. The most recent accomplishment was that the senior business advisors across different islands participated in a business plan writing workshop. So we're now giving them the tools to write business plans for clients on their island. So their clients aren't sitting and waiting for someone in Nassau to write a business plan that's free of all the nuances of that particular island.
And that's a giant step in terms of benefit for Family Islanders because there are nuances, there are cultural differences, island to island, in fact, sometimes settlement to settlement.
Exactly.
So if someone is their resident present who understands
the lay of the land,
it enables them.
Yes.
We talked a little bit earlier about some of the challenges that are unique to Family Islands, and while on one hand, they provide opportunities because we talked about airlift, and it'll be great if we can. I look forward to celebrating our first recipient who is starting a small airline to help alleviate that challenge. We talked about stability of electricity, and we know that there's some work going on there. But it also means that the SBDC's work is not done because part of our contribution is to make sure that we encourage the engagement of stakeholders in the provision of these services to alleviate those challenges. And so talk to us a little bit about our current partnership structure and what the SBDC is doing in that regard.
So we've made a number of key partners, like you mentioned, UNESCO being one of them, Carnival Cruise Line, and even Royal Caribbean Cruise Line as well. So where they have ports in the Bahamas, they're giving donations towards businesses, whether they're in Grand Bahama, specifically Eleuthera, or other islands like Bimini Berry Islands. So we have strategic partners that are Family Island focused. Also, some of our financial institutions, as part of their corporate social responsibility, they want to bring about Family Island development. Just so far for the year, the first two businesses to be approved for funding under our guaranteed loan program were two businesses in Grand Bahama, one for $300,000, the other for $314,000 through one financial institution. And we have a number of businesses in the pipeline that are having their business plans developed that are meeting our rigorous requirements in terms of documentation because we have a dedicated team of advisors advisors who are walking and holding their clients' hands, because when their islands do well, when their clients do well, it's a reflection of them. And they're led by an amazing colleague, Deborah Gibbs. She's also from Exuma, even though she's domiciled here, but she understands the frustrations and the barriers that Family Island businesses have to overcome. And so she leads her team from that perspective.
So Family Island entrepreneurs can be excited and confident in the fact that the SBDC is working diligently to ensure that we alleviate some of these challenges. In fact, to your point, by the mere fact that we have a carnival and a royal, by extension, the infrastructure challenges are going to be addressed because of their presence as well.
Right.
So as we wrap up our conversation today, gentlemen and Phyllice, everybody talks about what's next. We are celebrating the work, the incredible work. We know that there's a lot of enthusiasm in the Family Islands of business. What do you see next, Ehren, in Exuma and by extension for Family Islands?
Great question, Jeffrey. What's next? I think continued collaboration, continued awareness campaigns. As you mentioned, there are numerous public-private partnerships that are going to create significant opportunities for Family Islanders to be successful entrepreneurs. I have people that come with great ideas, and it's great to hear that we have the resources in place to help them plan their businesses properly, give them that access to funding, right? Training is also an opportunity, a gap, but I think that ultimately, what's next is taking advantage of these opportunities, right? And we have to be intentional about delivering these opportunities in a manner that is well received. I know that your processes can be onerous, but like you said, continuing to hold these entrepreneurs' hands, walk them through the process, because we want them to be successful. Their success is success for everyone. And so that continued collaboration and support is going to be critical.
Vaughn, what do you see in Acklins and beyond?
Oh, awesome question, Jeff. I'm sure the people and the residents and businesses in Acklins are looking forward, as well as Crooked Island, are looking forward for SBDC presence to continue and to make available more grant and funding and opportunities. And like Mr. Hanna would have indicated, also for more private-public partnership opportunities that will assist these local businesses in the production of their products, of their craft, and to be able to reach market.
Now, Phyllice, you've been a part of this journey for a while. When you think of the Family Islands, what brings excitement to you?
What brings excitement is the fact that we are blessed with a country that is rich in resources, especially on our Family Islands. And I'm excited about more business owners recognizing how much we're blessed and taking up the challenge of converting those resources into successful businesses that create economic impact, not just in Nassau, but across the country.
Thank you all so much. A very special thank you to our special guests today, Ehren, Vaughn, Ramona, and Phyllice. You've been incredible. Great opportunities for the Family Islands in the future. The SBDC is alive and well, and we're excited. And so we thank you for joining us in our conversation this evening. We look forward to you joining us again in the very near future. Until then, we look forward to you turning your insights into tomorrow's success. Thank you so much for joining us.